Hello, my friends. Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. So, I wanted to hop on for our short little weekly Tuesday lunchtime chat. I need to find a cute name for that. So, if anybody is super creative and you can think of a fun, maybe Tuesday talk, I don't know. Anyways, if you have ideas, let me know. So, today I want to talk about a question that I get a lot from my clients and just from people in general. And that question is, how often should I weigh myself? And the answer is always, it depends. So I'm going to tell you my philosophy about the scale. I don't like the scale. I feel like I get traumatized when I step on a scale. So therefore, I really don't weigh myself. I'll probably weigh myself maybe like 3 or 4 times a year, if that, because I know what happens to me mentally when I hop on the scale, and it doesn't make me happy. So even, I can be feeling great. I can be feeling super strong and feeling like that I've stuck with my goals and been really good with my eating, and then feel really great about myself. And then I'll step on the scale and all of that will go away because of a silly number that I'm looking at, if that number is not what I want to see. So I know for myself that stepping on a scale is not a motivator, because even if that number has gone down, for whatever reason in my head, I feel like, well, I've lost weight. I've been doing great, so I can go treat myself. And logically and realistically, I know that that's not what you're supposed to do, but for whatever reason, that's where my brain goes, and I tend to kind of like fall off the wagon of being healthy if I see the number go down. If I see the number go up, then I get into this headspace of, well, what's the point of working so hard if I'm not seeing the results that I want? I should just give up. So for me, hopping on the scale is just not ideal unless I want to feel horrible. So as I've gotten older, I've realized, like, let's just do things that make us feel good and stay away from the things that make us feel not so good. Now, for other people, so if you're like me, so if that happens to you when you step on the scale and that number just ruins your day, ruins your attitude, then don't step on the scale. However, I do have clients that get motivated by stepping on the scale, and so they like to weigh themselves because it's just kind of something that keeps them on track, and they feel like it keeps them accountable. So if that's you and you're not going to go into this crazy downhill spiral of feeling horrible and giving up on all your goals when you step on the scale, then by all means, step on the scale. If you use that as a form of accountability, go for it. I would caution you, though, to not step on the scale more than once a week. Our weight fluctuates so much. Not just from day to day, but from like hour to hour. So if you are weighing yourself, pick a day and time each week, or if you decide to do it monthly, whatever it might be, always weigh yourself at the same time of day, and try to stick to the same day too, because the ideal time to weigh yourself is right when you wake up in the morning after you've used the restroom. Weigh yourself, okay? And if you can do that, that would be the best time to weigh yourself if you're choosing to weigh yourself. Because if you wanted to do a little experiment, you could try weighing yourself in the morning, you could try weighing yourself at lunch, at dinner time, and at bedtime, and you're going to get 4 different weights. Um, I, Several Thanksgivings ago, my cousin, gosh, he was probably like in his early 20s, so doing what early 20-year-old guys do, he and his friends had a bet on who could gain the most weight just by eating their Thanksgiving meal. And at first I was kind of like, well, you're not going to gain weight just by eating like that much weight just by eating a meal. Like it might be like a pound or 2. Well, no, he actually gained, I think it was like 10 pounds just by eating his Thanksgiving meal. So your weight fluctuates so much, okay? And also, there's times of the month where we carry extra water weight, when we get bloated and all that kind of stuff. So if you're going to weigh yourself, same time of day, and aim for the same day of the week if possible, if weighing yourself is a motivation. Now, here's the other thing about scales. So the number on the scale really means absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. That number on the scale is not the number that I focus on. It's not the number that I have my clients focus on. It's kind of been drilled into our heads in society that like that's the number we should look at. Every time you go to the doctor's office, the doctor weighs you since the time we were born. And in fact, when I go to the doctor's office, I look the other way as they're weighing me, and I don't want to see what it says. Okay. And I hate that now they give you printouts with your weight right on them. Like, that's annoying. I need to tell them to like cross it off. But anyways, your weight is just a number. It just fluctuates. And there are so many things that go into how much you weigh. The amount of fat you have, the amount of muscle you have, the amount of water that you're currently carrying, how much you have eaten in the past several hours. I mean, I could go on and on. The numbers that I like to look at, if you want to be a numbers type person, are your body fat percentage and or your measurements. Okay, those are the best indicators of if you're making progress or not, because when you're exercising and eating healthy, you're gaining muscle, so the number on the scale doesn't always go down. Sometimes the number on the scale stays even because you have replaced a pound of fat with a pound of muscle. But what happens is that a pound of fat weighs the same as a pound of muscle, but it takes up a lot more space. So when you get that pound of muscle, it's more compact, and so therefore you've lost inches and you've replaced fat with muscle, so therefore your body fat percentage goes down. So if you really want to look at numbers as a gauge of if you're making progress or not, then your body fat percentage and the number of inches you lose are the best numbers for that, not the scale, okay? And not BMI, absolutely not BMI. BMI is like the stupidest number ever. It only takes into account your height and your weight, nothing else. So pretty much every single professional athlete who is completely in shape is considered obese by their BMI. Okay, because all it takes into account is their height and their weight, and because they have a lot of muscle and they work out a lot, and they're going to weigh more. Okay, so they would be considered obese if you looked at BMI. So absolutely throw that number out. That number means nothing. It's very antiquated. Get it out of there. Now most of us don't have a way to measure our body fats. A lot of scales nowadays have a body fat feature on them. They're not super accurate. I have a handheld body fat monitor that is probably the most accurate thing that you can get for home use or personal use. But there's other ways. There's like a DEXA scan, which is super, what's the word I'm looking for? has a low error rate. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. And then there's where you dunk yourself in a tank of water, and that is probably one of the most accurate. That's the word I'm looking for. One of the most accurate ways to measure your body fat. Most of us aren't going to be doing that. So measuring tape, great way to do it. Now, if you're not a numbers person, and if those numbers even freak you out and cause you to go into that mental spiral of, oh my God, my body fat percentage didn't go down, I'm not losing inches, then stay away from all numbers and go by how your clothing feels and how you feel. Okay, there's more to progress than just the number on the scale. Progress has to do with your energy levels. Progress has to do with with different markers, medical markers like your cholesterol, your blood pressure, your heart rate, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of other ways to see progress rather than focusing on those numbers that have so much to do with your body shape. So, don't let yourself go down that spiral of getting upset with yourself because you're working so hard and you're not seeing those numbers change, because there's other ways to gauge it. Okay, how well are you sleeping? Are you sleeping better? That's a huge sign of progress, right? Because sleep is essential and so important to us. How is your mood? Are you in a better mood? Again, a big sign of progress is your mood levels, right? So you don't have to go by scale. You don't have to go by inches. You don't have to go by a body fat percentage. There's a lot of other ways to measure your progress. So in the comments below, let me know what you do to measure your progress. And even if you're not like trying to lose weight, and you're just trying to maintain your weight, what do you use to measure that, to make sure that you are maintaining your weight? Let us know any other tricks that you might have to, besides stepping on a scale. Alrighty. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, drop down any questions in the comments as well. I'm happy to answer them. Talk to you all soon.